Hi, Soul Family. Good song. Mary says, how to be brave. How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? Watching you stand alone. All of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. Reason I said that. Because the message of the day is we want to lead with our heart, right? I had the best several calls for my work line. Yesterday, I had a call from a fellow from New York who's going through a bitter custody battle, divorce court, mediators, with 3 children, ex-wife. He is married again, has a new baby. We know how that is with the old wife, right? And they're fighting over custody of these kids. And so I thought I would work on what we're taught, how I'm supposed to teach, right? Lead with your heart. And I said, okay, so here's this. He says, we're going back to the court tomorrow for mediation, and, you know, she wants this and I want that. And I said, what is it that you really want? And he said, and I said, because I've been divorced, and I've also raised a stepchild and my stepdaughter, and her mother had us in court the whole time we were married and ended our marriage. She said, I will make it my mission to end this marriage. And she did. And I said, so I've been on both sides. I know what your new wife is feeling, and I know what your ex-wife is feeling. What needs to happen is what's best for the kids, right? These kids are not 2 and 3 years old. They're 14, 15, and 17. Pretty soon, one of them could even just go off and get married if they want, right? So what do you want? Do you want to be in court battling and watch the kids see their parents tear each other apart? Or do you want to say, all I want is what's in our highest good, what the children want, come together as a team? I said, because the only people that win in this situation are the lawyers. You're not winning, she's not winning, the kids certainly aren't winning, right? They're going to feel obligated to be loyal to one parent. It puts the kids in the middle. It's a disaster. I said it costs thousands and thousands of dollars, and the only ones that win are the courts. So he was going to go to mediation the next day, and he says, that's what I want to do. He goes, I want to just ask, let's forget about the mediators. Let's forget about, because they would have to pay $5,000 per child to have these specialists come in to sit with the kid and ask each kid, 3 kids, $5,000 each, right? And once you give your power over to the court system, you lose control. I said, do you not realize you will lose control of your family? They will make choices that you can't undo. Once you give your power over to them to decide, they decide. And it may not be what you want. And it may not even be what the kids want. So he says, okay, so how are we going to do this? And I said, well, right now her back is up. Right now she's fighting. She's fighting for her kids. No way is that woman going to raise my kids. No way is that going to happen. And I said, you need to start right now and affect change by the way you're looking at this situation. I said, I'm in a situation too where people are trying to block something for me, and they're angry, and there's a lot of anger. I said, but really underneath it all, anger is fear, right? And fear exhibits itself as bullying or anger or control. When you don't feel like you have any control, you want to control. So what you want to do is you don't want to go in there and try and control anything. You want to lead with your heart. You want to go in there and say, let's ask the kids what they want. And so we talked for quite a while. It was a really good call. And he asked me, he says, I'd really like to talk to you before I go in tomorrow. But I would have had to been on the phone at 6 in the morning. And I said, I can't even be clear. I'm up all night with my cats. So I dreamed last night. And in my dreams, I watched something happen. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. I got several messages from the dreams. And the silver siren showed up. And so then I went to, Siam woke me up. I knew he would. And I looked at my computer, and there was a message from him. He goes, are you up yet? So I went on right away at 9 o'clock, and he called. And I didn't know this. I did my spread of cards. I laid them out. And I said, okay, well, this is what I see. And I put it all down. And then I said, so I told him that. And then he goes, oh, my God. He goes, I've just walked out. He goes, that's pretty much what happened. And I said, okay, hold on a second. I had a dream. And I said, and this is the dream. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailor's warning. And I said, I saw red seas coming in the morning, which means it's not going to go well for you. There's a lot of fiery energy. She's coming in aggressive. She's coming in angry. You need to come in with love. You need to, and I watched him. Everything that I saw basically happened. Everything that I saw. So I said, okay, we're going to shift all this. He says her lawyer got so angry, and he's like, we're out of here. And he started getting really angry. I said, because you took control. He didn't like that you took control. See, so you already can see, and this is how you can show your ex-wife, you can already see that this isn't about the kids. This is about control. The lawyer didn't care. He didn't even care to ask her what she felt. He got very angry and said, we're out of here. And he took control of the situation. He took personal offense because you came in and led. He came in with this plan, the lawyer, her lawyer. And he says, hold on a second, before we talk, he goes, I just would like to ask the kids. And he came from his heart. He appealed from his heart. Lawyer didn't like that. And I said, she saw that. And he said, I did what you told me. He says, I talked to her before we went in. He goes, I sat down next to her because I tried to talk to the lawyer and the lawyer said no. So we went out and sat outside. He goes, and she was sitting there. So I sat down next to her and I just started talking to her because I said, look at her. When you look at her, you remember the girl that you married. She's still in there. Right? This was a soulmate of yours. You wouldn't have married her if there wasn't something in her that you found very attractive. You have to try and find that space in your heart right now. And he said he actually got very teary-eyed when he started to talk to her. He started feeling really bad because this used to be his friend and now they're enemies. And I said, you're not enemies. I could see right here. That touched her. But then the lawyer came out and whatever he said to her, he got her all in a knot and now she doesn't know which way to go. Right? He talked to her. And she was being reached. Her heart was being reached. He was sincere, but the lawyer came and said, he's blowing smoke up your ass. He's not sincere. He called the guy the silver siren. And I said, he's showing you as insincere. He's showing you as just trying to do that to manipulate the circumstances. So you need to consistently, no matter what happens, come across from your heart. You can continue to send energetic wavelengths towards her. I want us to be friends. I said, what you need to do is reestablish a friendship between you two. And he says, I would love that. I would love to be able to do that. And I said, you can do that. And so it was amazing. It was the most amazing thing in the world. And everything went the way I saw it. And then he was going to lead, again, I said, just go in with your heart because right now she's confused. She does want to believe that part of you, but a part of her is scared. A part of her is worried. What you need to show her is that the courts aren't worried about the kids. The courts don't care what the kids want. The courts care how much money they can get, and that's how much the lawyers care too. And so when give her a couple days to calm down, and then ask to meet her. You and her boyfriend, go out and meet them and talk to them. And even if she doesn't even want to talk about the case, that's fine. Just say, you know what I want to work on, what's the most important thing for me right now is our kids, and that they don't have to feel bad for being friends with one or the other. They don't have to feel like they need to take sides. They need to see their parents trying to reestablish a friendship. So working. I said, wouldn't you like to be able to go to graduation, all four of you together, your wife, her boyfriend, and go to the graduation and all sit there and take family pictures? She goes, I would love that. And I said, it can happen. My ex is my friend. I'm best friends with his wife. It absolutely can happen because there was nothing wrong with my ex-husband. He was a good guy. He just wasn't meant for me anymore, right? He's a decent person or I wouldn't have married him. He's my friend. And so you want to remember, love is always there. People that have issues with jealousy, I heard this the other night in my head. If you're still friends with that person, I don't want anything to do with you. You can't be friends with that person if you want to be in a relationship with me. And I thought, you know what? That's a very ego-based issue. That's somebody who has mistrust because someone has cheated. However, if you're going to be with someone, don't be with them if you don't trust them 100%. That you have a problem, or you both have a problem, right? Because I can tell you that I have 100% respect for my ex-husband's wife. I don't call him. I go do everything through her. I speak to her. I don't think I've even seen him in the last 2 years, but we are friends, right? You can remain friends. And once the love was there, love is always there in some form. It just changes form. It's not romantic love anymore. It's agape love, friendship, right? And when you have children, it's even more important. I'm still friends with my ex-husband's daughter. We're actually better friends now than we were when I was co-parenting, right? and my daughter are friends. All the family together. It's not like we hang out. I mean, Julie and I do, but everybody is able to talk, and it's comfortable, and that's what you need. And I was so excited talking to him, and he was so excited and happy. His whole thought process changed from money and who's going to win to, wow, do you think we could actually get to the place where all of us are comfortable? And I said, yeah, you can. I am. It may take a little while. There's bruised feelings, right? And there's a little bit of residual. You don't expect it right away, but yes. So this has to do with every situation. If there's a problem within a family, if there's problems with friendships, and something gets to it, you want to get away from that. You win, or I win, you lose. You're my enemy. We don't want that. I don't want to be enemies with anyone. I don't want anyone as an enemy. It doesn't help anyone. We're here to promote love, right? So if I lead with my heart, it's only going to affect positively. And I said, if you lead with your heart, even if it doesn't go your way, and I told them that from the beginning, even if you don't get what you were hoping for, your kids are 14, 15, and 17. If they want to see their dad, they're going to see their dad, no matter what the court says. They're not 2 and 3, right? But your kids need to see you making the effort to put them first, to put their interests first. They don't need to see their dad fighting with their mom. They don't need to see them battling back and forth. I said, all that money, $5,000 per kid, on top of all the other stuff you've spent, that money could be given to the kids. It's just ridiculous. It's a waste of energy and time, and it ruins what once was. Why, just because you're not together as a couple, why does it have to be that that person is now your enemy? Now they're evil. They're not evil. Nobody is inherently evil. People are sad, people are afraid, and it turns into anger. But it's not really what the root cause is, right? It's disappointment, it's sadness. She felt like she failed. And no one wants to feel that way. It makes them angry, it makes them aggressive, it makes her afraid. That woman's going to raise my kids. No one is ever going to be those kids' mother. No one. My mom told me that. That's something I learned the hard way. I wanted to protect my stepdaughter from her mother because her mother had a bunch of issues. She wasn't safe. So I took over the role as the mother. And my mom kept saying to me, you will never be her mother. You will never be. I said, she is my daughter. Because I loved her and I took her and I wanted to protect her, like mama bear protection, right? But the fact of the matter is, I was never going to be her mother. It would have been better if I had just gotten in my head, I just want to be your friend. I just want to be your friend. You want what's happiest for everyone, right? So this goes all the way across the board for every situation. And then the song that came up after, he was so excited. I got very emotional. I started getting really choked up because his attitude was just so happy and positive, and he was so focused on getting things to a place of peace and happiness again. So I started praying to Spirit after I got off the phone, and I said, and I told him, I said, Spirit wants what's best for the children. Spirit wants peace. They want love. They don't want courts. They don't want battles. They don't want enemies. So when you lead with your heart and you're going out with that intention, Spirit's going to work with you. Absolutely. And I said, so I prayed, and I told him, and again, when I got off the phone, I said to the Father, please step in now. He is leading with his heart. He came and he asked, what should I do? And you gave him information. You said, lead with your heart. Reach her as your friend. And I said, when you look at her, you find the girl that you fell in love with. She's in there. Don't look at her like she's your enemy. That's how you can reach someone's heart. And the song right now, I believe. I love this song. It always interjects at the right moment. Right, when you say, I feel that I'm weak, you say that I'm strong. I feel that I don't belong, you say that I'm yours. I mean, even in that situation, she felt like she was the enemy now. She felt like he hated her, and he came and said, I don't hate you. I don't want to fight with you. You are my friend. I want to reestablish that. And it changed. It affected her heart. It's like the ones who are trying to block me from being with my twins, so I don't want to fight with them. I don't want to steal their son, their brother. I don't. I know they love him. I just want to love him too. There's no reason for fighting and anger. And sometimes in relationships, when things don't work out with someone, you don't have to hate the person that comes in new, the next person that comes along. It didn't work out. A lot of things don't work out. That doesn't mean that there's somebody going to be there for you too. Everybody needs to move on productively in a peaceful, happy way. We want the best for each other, right? So the song that came on and got me very emotional was Pink's song, and the line that popped up was, we are problems that are wanting to be solved. We are children that need to be loved. Right? I believe that is the most important part. Problems that want to be solved. And I thought about my work, and I thought, this is why I do what I do. And this is what energy I put out to the universe, why I want the people to call in. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to help from my past experience, right? I was divorced. I went through bitter custody battles. I was the mom who had a deadbeat dad that took off, that was trying to not pay money, and so he was trying to go for custody. And all I could think about was, no one's taking my babies. No one's taking my babies, right? I was young, and then not thinking that, you know what? I had to do it all by myself. I raised those kids by myself. I had full custody. It was overwhelming. You know, it would have been nice. I didn't have to be afraid. The most beautiful black butterfly with yellow wings just popped up. Black with yellow tipped. I can't get over that. It might come back up again. But my point was, if I had looked at it in the right way, I could have realized that I needed a break. I didn't need to do all of it. I didn't need to be mom and dad. I didn't have to do that to prove my worth to my children or to prove my worth to anyone else that I was a decent mother. You know, and a lot of times with divorce, that's what the problem is that one of the parents feel like, or both feel like they've let them down, right? I've failed. I'm divorced. My kids aren't going to have a home. That's why a lot of people stay in marriages that are dysfunctional, because they feel like they're letting their family down if they walk away, when in fact they're actually hurting their kids. If it's not working, don't have your children stay in a home where the mother and father aren't in love with each other. If you can love someone but not be in love with them, and it's not a good place to be, and kids don't need to see that. They don't need to grow up thinking that that's acceptable or something that should happen. So with myself, all I could think about was, no one's just taking my babies from me, right? And I said, you have to understand, I'm telling you as a mother, she's afraid she's going to lose those kids to your new wife, and they'll be all absorbed into the new family, and they won't want her. That's her fear. So you need to tell her, we're not taking those kids away. We want to all be a part of it. My wife isn't going to step in and try and be their mother. And I said, all the things that I learned with my ex, right? That I did wrong, that I wanted to be her mother. I wanted to protect her. No, I just needed to be her friend. I could have protected her that way too. But it got the other mother's back up, and she came back, and we were in court for 7 years. It was awful. So I said, whatever, if I can give you a piece of advice, you can do whatever you want. But when it comes down to dealing with your ex-wife, don't have your new wife involved. Not now. It's way too soon. And when you go to meet with her, you go meet with her and her boyfriend. You leave your wife at home. Right now, that's too touchy, right? She's very threatened by that right now, and you need to calm her energy and have her realize that we are the parents. This is my wife. She's going to love them and want to be their friend, that we are the parents, right? So, and then to see this song, it just made me feel so good that this is the work that I want to do, and this is why I want my phone to ring. Not thinking about, oh, I need to make some money here. I want to be able to help. I want to be able to affect change, and that changed quickly. And I told him my story about how we're able to manifest things, right? I'm able to make things happen. I was able to take that suite back from the woman that was living in my landlord's suite. I went in there, I put my energy in it, and I said, I want it back, bring me home. He called me on the way home, right? And and it was all in the works. I was literally taking her suite away. And I realized what I was doing, that I shouldn't do that. I was doing something that wasn't appropriate. But you can manifest change in a positive way, right? You can manipulate circumstances if it's coming from a place of love, right? Not, oh, well, I just wanted to do this because it's in their highest good. No. Not making decisions for other people. If this is in the highest good of everyone involved, please allow this to happen. And that's what I asked for on their behalf. I said, I'm asking for divine intervention, that this man, if this is all really truthful and this is really how he feels, he really sounded that way to me. He was very excited about it. We want what's best for the children. We don't want all this money spent. We don't want fighting between everyone else. Step in and intervene and touch her heart and let her see that she doesn't have any reason to be fearful. And instead of looking at this person as an enemy that we have to fight against, this can be my ally. Amazing. Best morning ever. So now I'm going to start. That had to come out. I can't recall if I talked all about the manifesting of the studio and how I did it wrong. And I think I did in the other reading. And how I undid it when I realized what I was doing. that I said, no, don't take her out of that house. If this is somewhere she wants to be and stay, let her have that. Let me have the other side. And then all of a sudden my landlord called me back and said, I have had second thoughts. I made it happen, right? So be very careful. People are asking me a lot lately, are there any such things as spells? Does somebody have a spell on me? Yes, there are. It's energy binding spells. And sometimes people are doing it with love in their heart, and they don't even realize that they're actually binding someone. I don't want to let you go. I want you to stay with me. You need to stay with me. And the energy is so strong that they hold on to people. And I put up a post this morning, I think it was this morning, or maybe it was last night, saying that, and I really liked the way it was worded, because it was coming the same thing. Instead of looking at somebody as an enemy, or coming from a place of fighting, or of throwing throwing shade on someone, right? Remember I said I'm always in the shade? Someone's throwing shade on me. So instead of throwing shade on a situation, why not positively pull things forward like this? What did I say? I said, I really like this. Okay, the quote is, everyone doesn't need access to you. Some people are draining you, and they don't even know it. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to not answer calls. You're allowed to break plans. And if you need to save yourself, do it. You're allowed to do all of those things without feelings of guilt. But what I liked, and when people would read this, what they would most likely hear is, I don't have to do this. I don't have to say yes to you. I can say no. I'm protecting myself. That's the loudest thing that comes across, unless you preface the post with something else. And I did. I said, I really like this because it shows that some energy vampires aren't draining your energy in a spiteful way. They're not doing it on purpose. They don't even realize that their energy is toxic to you, right? They may be struggling in their own lives with harsh energy. And as an empath, we've got that energy, that loving, nurturing energy that draws people towards us. So they're naturally going to come towards us, right? That's why it's so important to keep ourselves shielded and protected. And when we are tired, we have to give ourselves permission to say no thank you to invitations out, or to listen again for the 100th time to that sad, negative, toxic story that they keep telling again and again. They keep repeating the negative, right? It's not in their highest good to repeat that negativity, and it's not in yours to hear it, to continue it. So I liked it because I wanted to put the emphasis on, yes, you know what, I'm an empath, and I'm a super sensitive, and I've got to be really careful around people, and certain people drain your energy. Now, every one of us has gone through a difficult time. And when we are going through a really difficult time, our energy is very low. And when we are in that state, we are drawing energy from others. We don't know that we are, but we are, because it's toxic. Whenever we're in a negative space, our energy vibrates out in a toxic way. So instead of looking at that person and saying, oh, that's an energy vampire. They came in and they were an energy vampire. Remember that reading that I said that I could feel that wave of dark energy that came in? And I was like, wow. And it changed my energy. They came in toxic. They came in angry. And I felt that anger. And it affected me. But it affected me because I was really connecting to that person. And that person infected me with their anger, their upset. But what if that person that came in was in a very horrible place, was in a very negative space, and that toxic, angry energy was coming at them. So they were now vibrating at that frequency. Because if we go through a really difficult situation, we are vibrating at a negative frequency. And while we stay in that energy, we continue to vibrate at that frequency, drawing towards us negativity, 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 and then we just become the biggest black rain cloud that there is, right? So that person that came in to that feed, I've been thinking about this a lot, they connected to me really strong. Why were they able to connect to me so strongly? It could have been somebody actually that matters to me. But they were vibrating at a negative frequency, and I, being so sensitive to their energy, felt that, and it turned me. I had to catch myself. Took me a bit. I knew, I felt it coming, and I said, this isn't right, but it affected me. I had to catch myself, and I kept saying, I need to go for a walk. I need to go for a walk. Somebody asked me one time, what happens when you get mad? What do? I clean or I walk. I need to go for a walk. You need to leave me alone. You need to let me go. You need to let me go clean my energy, right? So I said, I gotta go, you guys. I gotta go. And I was sad. My energy was depleted. I felt tired. I felt just this heavy, damp energy. And I went off and I went for a walk and I cleared, right? And I thought about that toxic energy vampire. And then I thought that energy vampire could have been the most beautiful, loving, gentle soul that had been adversely affected by very, very negative, toxic energy all around them. And they didn't know what to do with it. Right? And so they come there in order to feel, because they're drawn to the light, and then they're shut down. So, yes, we have to be careful. Yes, we have to keep up a shield. But I love the fact that my shield is filled with 100% unconditional love. Fill me, Father, with unconditional, healing, loving energy. Please fill me from top to bottom. And as it goes by, all of my chakras, they all start activating. And as it starts to activate, the velocity starts spinning so strong. And all this energy that floats from me, the only thing that shoots out from me is going to be unconditional, healing, loving energy, because it's coming straight from source, right? And it's moving so quickly that it's not going to allow that negative energy to attach to me. And anything that bounces off of me and goes out to them is only going to help them lift their energy. I don't care if they hate me. I don't care if they're throwing daggers at me. Their daggers aren't going to hit me, because my unconditional love is going to bounce back off of me. Also, I put a mirrored plating around the outside of me. This is my intention, and my intention is very powerful. It's mirrored. So whatever you throw at me, if you throw shade on me, it's going to bounce off me and go right back onto you. So don't do it. I'm not sending hate towards you. I don't want to hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. There is nobody that I hate. I don't want to be a fight with anyone. It makes me feel bad. I'm not a fighter. I don't want to. I will fight if somebody is hurting someone that I love. I want to go there, but that's not winning either, right? Because that's me going, that is what we are growing away from. That's what we're learning now, is that, yeah, I'm a fighter. I'm a freaking fighter. You want to see 5'2" turn into a freaking Tasmanian devil? It can happen. I am strong as fuck, and I know what my energy can do. I can mess you up really bad. I know what I can do. I don't want to do that. That's not ascension. That's not learning. That's like taking my gifts and then, well, when that happens, that goes out the window. So I don't want to be that person. I know who I have been able to do things like that. I've been able to hurt people. I don't want to do that. That is a binding spell. That is negative, toxic energy, and I am certainly not going to be wanting to vibrate that out there, because it'll only bounce back and hit me again anyway. I don't want to send any of that negative energy out. But I got to tell you, man, we changed the dynamics of that court system and I told him, I just want to try something with you. Just want to try something. I know you're asking, how's this going to go and what should I do? But I want to try something with you if you're willing, because you are calling a spiritual teacher. And he goes, okay. So that's when I said, we're going to lead with our heart. We're going to lead with love. This is what we're going to do. You can start right now, before you even get into that room. You can start right now attaching to her energy, like not attaching, affecting change in her energy, because you are connected. They are still connected. That's a soulmate of his. There's a connection there. Love never dies. I said, you can't affect change in a negative way, but you can affect change from love, because the love between you is never dead. It changes, but it's still there. So you need to now attach to her heart. You come from your heart, you lead with your heart, and you start working that. Let's be friends. I'm not your enemy. Let's figure this out together. Let's do what's best for the kids. I said, I want you to talk out loud. And he did it. And it worked. And it's going to continue to work. And I said, even if it doesn't, if her lawyer talks, because he did, her lawyer got her all messed up. If the lawyer, and that's what happens with friends too, right? Say you have a fight with someone that you love, right? And you go tell your friends. Well, they want to defend you. They're your friend. They're not friends with the one you had a fight with, right? But then now the person comes to you and you want to kind of, you miss them and you want to resolve things. Well, now your friends are all mad at them, right? So anything they say or you say to them in in regards to wanting to repair this or move forward with this, they're going to put little seeds of doubt. And I said, that's what the lawyer did. He was pissed off that because you came in and took control. He wanted to be in control. He didn't like that. He felt like his headship was being usurped. He didn't like that. So he put little poison darts in her ear. She didn't buy them 100%, but it scared her. Never underestimate the power of planting a seed. He did it in the negative way, but never underestimate the power of planting a seed if it comes from love, because love will always win. Love will grow faster than fear. So you need to plant a seed of love. She says she's going away for a few days, and then we're going to come back to the court, and I said, ask if you can go meet her. You guys you can have a little talk, and I said, and you plant a seed of love in her ear. Whatever you need to do, and you be sincere, and you let that energy vibrate from you. I got to tell you, nothing is more powerful than love. Nothing is more powerful than love. Love can heal bullies, angry people, afraid people. And I love the fact that he was willing to do it. And he saw, and then I told him my dream, and my dream was just dead on. And he's just like, oh my God, that's amazing. So, as I said, remember how I got confusion about my dreams? And I always thought it was my twin that I was watching, and actually I saw 3 different scenarios in what I watched last night, but it applied. Like I said, I could use it in this one. I used it with another client, what I saw in the dream, right? So, wow. I am so grateful that I have lucid prophetic dreams, teaching dreams, and I can help my client in a way that's going to bring peace to everybody and take away the anger and the fear from the kids and everyone. God, it's so amazing. And this is also, as I said to him, I've been through all kinds of shit in my life, really, really bad things. And I said, all those things happen for a reason. And now I'm seeing, I used every one of those situations. My experiences, you can learn from my experience. Don't do what I did. I will tell you what happens, and it won't work well. And he's listening. I love that. I love that. So I say thank you to Spirit for that. It was a wonderful morning, and I wanted to share all that. I know that that's going to affect change for other people as well. So we're going to give our items to choose from. I wanted to do my reading out on the patio, but I disturbed Siam, so I think we will... oh, I just heard stay. Okay. It's kind of overcast anyway. I just like to go out there because of the animal messengers that might show up. That black butterfly was amazing. You know, I've been seeing that a lot lately. Have you guys? I've had about 3 different people. No, 2 people showed me a black butterfly, like solid black. My friend Yoris sent me a picture of a black butterfly, and then I just saw one. So think about that. Black, right? Something that appears dark, but it's light. And I asked him, I said, okay. He says, so do I call her he says, when should I call her? She leaves on Thursday. And today's what, Tuesday? And I heard Friday. And he goes, should I call her tomorrow? And I said, no, I heard Friday. And he goes, really? And I said, okay, well, this is what we can do. We can ask for a sign. So I said, what do you think of when you see her? What comes to mind? An animal? He goes, I don't know. And I said, think of something. And he goes, I just feel like tissue paper, like soft and kind of just delicate. And I said, so like a butterfly? And he goes, that works. I said, okay. So what's going to happen is when tomorrow comes, it's still, don't call her till Friday, a butterfly will fly in front of you. Okay? If it is something is shifted, it's better to call earlier. What else would you see her as? Like in the negative, a tiger? A tiger, you'll see a tiger. He goes, I got it. So I've been seeing a butterfly. This is now the 3rd mention of the butterfly. First 2 I saw, and then I saw one myself. And when I saw Yoris's butterfly, I said, I've never seen. This is the one he showed me. Hold on. This is the one he showed me. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Black with red. So dark, you think about dark, right? There's 2 different ways to look at this. One, the black that's a negative person. Remember I told you that person that was the butterfly that kept coming onto my page, and Spirit said that the butterfly is the guillotine, the one that wants to chop off their head, right? So instead of focusing on the negative, I'm looking at a butterfly still. The butterfly is beautiful. It's delicate, right? That butterfly has red. So it's black, mostly black, but there's red, there's passion, and there's love in that butterfly too. Everyone has that within us, right? So then, the butterfly that just went by just now, I said, oh my God, that's a black butterfly with yellow, bright yellow just on the edge. When you look at this one, it's on the inside. Well, the one I saw was solid black with just yellow on the outside edge. I've never seen one like that. This is a third mention. Anytime you see something or hear something 3 times, it's extremely important. This is just confirmation to me that that person that was the butterfly, that one that I was looking at as dark energy, as someone that I wanted to keep away from me. Look at my hands, butterfly, right? It's still a butterfly. It still has love inside that person. There's still passion there. The yellow one is growth, happiness. When you were a little kid, you know, we all drew the happy face. What color is it? Yellow, always, right? So happiness, growth, the divine masculine, forward movement. It was a black butterfly, but it was edged in that yellow, that beautiful yellow. So instead of looking at the dark in that, it's kind of like when I talk about my spiritual twin or my family members, I don't see them broken. I don't see them as weak. I don't see them as limited. I don't see them as not being able to do this. I see them successful. I see the best. Even when my daughter is being rotten and being horrible, saying things to me, I love you, I'm here for you, I support you, I love you. If we don't do that, if we focus on the opposite, on the negative, we're only exasperating the situation. We're keeping the situation going in a negative fashion, and it's not helping anyone. We're coming outside because I just saw the biggest white crane land in the backyard. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but he keeps coming. It's a white crane walking down on the property there. Hold on, I'm gonna get the box. I am gonna do it outside, I think. Although my landlord's sitting there listening. Maybe he needs to hear it. Let me turn the radio up, hold on. Just so we get a couple messages. Oh, I love this. We're gonna build a house and fill it with things from far away. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Okay, so for the items to choose from today, I'll give you one really super cool one to choose from. Liger. And I choose him. We'll choose Liger. We'll choose Prince Charming. We'll choose the purple Pansies. And we'll choose this little rose bush. Prince is there?
Yeah, down here. Princey. Princey. Over by the screen.
Hi, baby. This is Prince Charming, this little frog here. Where are you? There he is.
Come here, Princey.
Okay, so you can choose from Prince. We'll use the real Prince. Hi, handsome. Hi, honey. Hey. Hi, baby boy.
I went down there to the back page. No way to get to those flowers.
Okay, those are our items. Liger, the real Prince, the purple Pansies, and you know what? And the rose bush, because we're not gonna go to the false Prince. We're gonna say the real Prince. Okay. Also, I wanted to show you. Remember, you guys? I said I was gonna put the crystals in there. I'm gonna put some other things in there, but they're in there safe, where I can see them. I'll probably put some little plants in there. Did you see that up close? I love that. Hi, baby. Yeah, everyone loves you because you're so handsome. Okay, so here we go. For those who chose Liger, and I did, we're going to work with Angel Oracle, Angel Tarot, I guess it is, Angel Tarot. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do like a spread of a few things, so it's like a little story. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose Liger, and I do. I choose Liger. I love that he's on that chair. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose Liger. Woo. Okay, so this one flipped. So this is the Six of Pentacles, or Six of Earth. And this is about money being balanced. See the balancing of scales? Talks about gifts of money, time, effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, paying off debt. So you've got this little fairy that's making sure that things are even. They're dispersing things from. Why does he have to talk? Okay, I'll have to take us back inside, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to do it out here. I don't know. I wanted to be outside, sorry. I guess we were supposed to hear this song. I make you believe I want... Hold on. Wherever we are. Moves like Jagger. You want to steer. I'm shifting gear. I'll take it from here. Now that's the same situation in the courtroom, right? You want to steer? Well, I'm shifting gear. I'll take it from here. That was the lawyer, right? So it's kind of like, if it's in a relationship, it would be, why are you competing with someone that you love? But there's a lot of people that compete. They want to be the one that wins, right? They want to be the one in control. And I've told the story many times of my twin and I, and we were skiing down a mountain, right? And I'm skiing down, and he comes in front of me, and he's kind of cutting in front of me. And he's feeling pretty cocky, you know, cutting back and forth. And I wasn't, I was laughing, you know. He was going back and forth, and I would go down, and he would shoosh in front of me, and then shoosh in front of me. And then I would come down a little further, and then he'd whoosh, you know, shoot in front of me. And then we got to the bottom of the hill, and he came in front of me, and he spun around and sprayed snow all over me. And he goes, "Ha!" And I said, "I don't want to compete with you. Why are you competing with me? I don't want to compete with the person I love. I want to win with the person I love. I don't understand that." And so this song, he's like, you know, you want to control, so I put on a show, and, you know, you want to steer, but I'm shifting gear, and I'm back in control. And she's like, I don't want to, do you want to win for tonight? I'll let you win for tonight, but, you know, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight, and you're not going to control me. So it's like, same situation. So Six of Pentacles, that kind of comes up. Now I've lost the card. I dropped them all when I came in here. But you saw that the little fairy was taking and putting some of the pentacles into the other basket, right? So this is, yes, a message about finances, about things balancing out financially, that, you know, you may have somebody come forward to help you, and sometimes it's not just finances, it's whatever you can benefit from, right? So there's going to be a balancing, and it may come in various ways. You're not quite sure. Like for me, I could get phone calls, I could get a private reading, I could have somebody, like say somebody offers to help you do something, or they take you out to dinner, or they take, you know, oh, let me pay for lunch. You know, there's money, right? It comes in many different ways. However, we're talking about relationships at first. Here we go. I finally found it. Here. It could be the same situation, right? We're going to, instead of, you know, I'm going to take all these and I'm going to put them in here. I'm winner, winner, chicken dinner. How is that keeping things balanced between you? You're going to be lopsided. How do you win in that situation? When you take more than the other. This is about a balancing. This is about a giving and a receiving, right? A give and take. There's two over here. And what I find is, what to me, I find, this is the way I was raised anyway. You hear that people should give 50-50, right? You know, everyone should give, you give 50% and I give 50%, meet me in the middle. Even the songs, right? Meet me in the middle. But that's not how I'm taught. I was taught to give 100%. Give 100%. In a loving relationship, you give 100%. Each of you. If you both gave 100%, there's surplus, and you're only benefiting each other. Now, this is not telling you that you stay in a situation where somebody doesn't want to work in a cooperative manner. When somebody is being narcissistic, when somebody is sending hate, you don't have to send hate back. You can protect yourself, vibrate the loving energy, and keep yourself away, right? You are being told to be smart. You are protecting yourself. But if we're talking about family and a relationship where you're trying to make things better, if you notice here, there are 2 coins here, and there are 3 coins in here, and she's putting another one back in there. She's adding more. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 2. There's 2 coins here, 2 coins here. But she's adding another. She's giving a little extra. So you're either going to be given a little extra right now, which is what I'm getting in the message, but it's also as far as relationship, give a little extra. I always give extra. If you're my client, you know that. If I have my readings are, if anyone would like help with private reading, my website is www.theangelswhisper.com. My email address is sherrycolumbus@yahoo.com. If you order a 15-minute reading, it's $44.44. If you order a half an hour reading, it's what is it? 66. And if you order, let me look. I don't even know. It's so funny. People think that I'm lying when I say that, but I really don't know what I charge. I'm not really focused on the money. I'm focused on my work. Yes, it is. I told somebody this the other day. Yes, this is energy, right? This is money. I need it to make this world work, and I appreciate it, but I am not really focused on the prices. Okay, so 15 minutes is 44.44. Half an hour is 77.77. And 1 hour is 122.22, right? But they never get 15 minutes, half an hour, an hour. Most of the time, they get at least half more, if not double. I always give more. I was taught that by my dad. My dad always gives more. My ex-husband, Ken, who is married to my best friend, Julie, he owns a granite and tile company. He always gives a little extra. He always did. And the people love him. He cleans up. You know, a lot of times people don't clean things up properly. He always does a little bit more. Because you establish almost like a friendship with your people that you're working with. And that's what's going on here. You're being given a little bit more. You're not just being given a little bit more because somebody just particularly wants to be generous to you. You have earned this. You haven't earned it necessarily with your work. You've earned it with your goodness. You're being rewarded is what I'm getting. You're being rewarded. So the number being 6 is always, don't be so focused on the material, right? The financial or this, even just the issues of the material world. Focus, keep your thoughts more focused to spirit, and you will be okay, right? When you're so focused on, oh my gosh, I need to make money, all your focus is on money and you don't get that. But when I say, gosh, bring me a call where I can help somebody, where I can share that kind of knowledge, where I can share the dream that I just got. Bring me that. We're somebody who is really wanting to hear what Spirit wants them to do. Because he's like, okay, well, what's the next step? And I said, no, don't go there. We don't want to go there. This is the step that you need to take. That's it. And then Spirit says, we'll do step 2. And then when it's time for you to do step 3, we'll let you know. In the meantime, go play. I said, go take your wife out for dinner, go to the movies, lighten your energy, keep it happy. And when you think of your ex-wife, you think of her with a smile on her face. You think of her wanting to do this and working this out and being relieved and happy. That's the only part of her and this situation you're supposed to think about. And he's like, I like that. And I liked it. It affected, I told him, first of all, my heart chakra started to spin when he was telling me the story of when he asked if he could speak to her and the lawyer said no. So then they said they had to go outside and sit on a bench while they waited for the lawyers. And he said she was just sitting there. He says, well, no one's going to tell me I can't go over and talk to her. So he went over and he sat next to her and he says, and as I did what we talked about, he goes, I started to get choked up. I started crying when he told me that. And I told him, I feel that. I know that you were sincere because I'm feeling my heart chakra spinning. What we do doesn't just affect us. It affects so many other people that we may not even realize. He can affect those lawyers. Right? He doesn't have to look at that lawyer like a freaking loser that wants to rape him of all his money and fight with him. He can look at it like, you know, it's okay, dude. You don't have to be ruffled. I'm not here to ruffle your feathers. I'm just here to love my family. I mean, and surely you're a father and you want your kids to be happy and relaxed, right? He could say, I talk like that. When I have issues with people, I talk like that in my head. And when I come home, I talk like that out loud. And he's like, I like this. I like this. So what happens? My phone has been ringing nonstop all morning. I had to turn it off to do this reading. So you're being rewarded for the efforts that you put forward. You're being asked to give a little bit more. Give a little bit more. It doesn't hurt you. I work for myself. If I want to give an extra 15, 20 minutes to a reading because I feel like somebody needs something more, I can do that. It helps them. They appreciate it, right? It's expensive, no matter what. I don't have high prices, but I realize we all have bills to pay, right? So I love this. So there could be new career opportunities coming for you. Your phone could start ringing. Right? Somebody could just think, you know what? This person's a decent person. Yes, this other guy's probably a little bit more qualified, but this guy is so friendly and positive and got such a great energy. I'm going to give him the job instead. Think about that. I've got 2 different people looking at this studio, right? You come in all happy and bright and excited and sunshine and, oh, I love the garden and friendly and positive. And then there comes this other person who's, busy on their phone and, yeah, okay, fine. Who would you rather give it to, right? So there's that message. If you were looking for a loan and wondering if you were going to get a loan, the loan's coming through is what I'm getting. Next message. We went to, well, I know we did the Pansies. Oh, we did Prince Charming. Let's do the Pansies first. They're purple, which is his highest spiritual color. It's Archangel Jeremiah's color, which is the relationship angel. He works with relationship harmony. It's also Archangel Metatron. It's not Metatron's color. It's, what is his name? Jeremiah, and there's another. Raziel. There's the angel of, I always call him the Mercury retrograde angel because he's the angel of review, which is what we're in right now. Spiritual colors. Reviewing, you know, where we were, how far we have come, what yet do we have to do? Do we need to say something to somebody? Do we need to repair a relationship? Do we need to cut some people away because the energy is too toxic for us right now? That's what Mercury retrograde is. There somebody coming that I haven't been talking to that I miss? Purple, color purple. You see the color purple? Those are the archangels that are talking to you. Correct for neutrality on all levels for Princey Pants. Prince Charming. For those who chose Prince Charming. No, I'm sorry. The purple Pansies. Woo! And it flipped upside this way. Now, it's in reverse. Do I read it in reverse? Do I read it in reverse? Hold on, I need to get a message because the other sign came in reverse as well. And I need to understand if I need to read this in reverse or if I'm reading it in upright. I heard in the upright. Some people don't read reversals at all, and I feel that because you can return, if it comes in reverse, you are capable of turning it the other way. It just depends on your attitude, right? So you could be the person that, I'm going to regress just a moment. The Six of Pentacles that we got, right, the Six of Earth, it was talking about giving and receiving, sharing, right? Giving, maybe you be the one that helps the other person. You saw that fairy giving a little extra, right? If it came in reverse, which it did, the reversal of that would be debt, not giving, right? But we don't want to focus on that. That's what I talked about this morning. I'm not going to focus on that. You already know you're in debt. You already know. So if I sit here and say to you, you've got a negative attitude, right? You're bringing this upon yourself. You're only thinking of yourself. You're being selfish. You're not considering the other person's needs. Wow, that's negative energy going out, right? So I look at that and I say what we want to do is we want to give a little extra. We want to look at things from this point of view. So you can give the same message. You don't need to be told that you have debt. You don't need to be told that you have money issues. What you need to hear is that money's coming. And you do that by keeping a positive focus. You do that by giving a little extra yourself. In any other way, like I said, it doesn't have to be in a monetary way. If you are giving, the universe gives back. Okay, so the Queen of Water, which is the Queen of Cups, we got it in reverse. So the Queen, you would think about if somebody has reached the status of Queen, let me see here. They're knowledgeable, they're successful, people are looking up to them, right? The Queen of Cups is very emotional, so very loving, very nurturing, very giving. It talks about, emotional situation. And if it comes in reverse, things are upside down, right? There's a lot of heavy emotion. It could be a codependent situation. There could be self-indulgent, worried about self. So we can flip this around. This could show that there is somebody in your midst that's upside down, that's very emotional right now, that's needy, that is thinking only of themselves, that is leaning on you. You've got this Queen of Cups that's leaning on you. But I don't want to look at that person as a bad person. That person needs tender, loving care. That person needs support. That person needs love. Now, yes, it can turn to poor me, narcissistic, codependent relationship. But if we look at it that way and we focus on that, we're not getting ourselves anywhere in a positive light, right? So we want to understand that the Queen is a very emotional person. They're an intuitive person. So what do you need to do to reach their heart? What can you do to affect change in this situation? You already know that you've got somebody in your midst that's upside down emotionally. You've got somebody that's extremely needy. You've got somebody who's leaning on you, who you can't even take care of yourself because they're constantly wanting attention from you. You already know that. You're living it. So how can I affect change for this? Well, I set my boundaries, right? Remember, what was it? Where is it? I love this. I love this way of looking at things. The thing that I spoke about this morning about the way that you can look at it. You have the right to say no, thank you, right? Can you do this? Can you do that? I need you to do, no, I'm sorry. I've got to take care of this right now. You don't put yourself on the back burner to constantly give too much of yourself. When you're upside down, you're giving too much of yourself, and you need to give to another, like give to yourself back. Or someone else is asking and draining from you, right? But this, everyone doesn't need access to you. Right now, this is a needy person that is pulling from you. Some people are draining and they don't even know that they're doing it. Some people do and they don't care. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to say, or you're allowed to not pick up your phone. You don't have to answer your phone. If you were up to your neck, if I was online doing a reading and on a call, I wouldn't be answering my text messages. I'm busy, right? I'm working. I don't have to feel guilty about that. Well, if you know, okay, here's this person again, and there it is with this whole long list of all that negative, that story that they've told 4,000 times, I don't want to hear that. I don't need that negative energy. I'm not picking up the phone. I'm not going to answer the text. I don't owe that to you. What I owe to me is a sense of peace. So that's okay. And even if I've made plans with somebody that we're going to do this, and it ends up being that I'm not feeling well, I'm just feeling really rather low, or they're just kind of giving me a vibration off that's just not, I just don't want to go. I can break plans. I can change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind, right? I was going out with you and, you know, it was all going, but I've decided this isn't working for me. I'm not doing this to hurt you, but for me, this doesn't work for me. I'm gonna break up with you. I want to break up. I want you to be happy. I want me to be happy. That's that song, right? I've been thinking about it. I want you to be happier. We're not happy together, so I'm going to go. And I think about it, and I get a little pang, and I think, well, maybe I should stay. But no, I'm honest with myself, and I think I'm not happy. And you're not happy either. All we're doing is fighting. So I'm going to go. And I wish you well and blessings for you on your journey. And I want that for myself too. There's a positive way of handling things like this, right? You can say that. And you don't have to look at this person like the enemy. This person that's draining your energy, right? Some energy vampires aren't doing this in a spiteful way. Some people have just grown up feeling very entitled and they're a little bit spoiled and they're used to it. Maybe you have set it up yourself. Maybe you have just given, put yourself last all the time, and they're used to that. My daughter has said that to me. She goes, well, you set this up. I did. I had such guilt because of what happened to my daughter and my son went through with the abusive ex that I let them get away with a lot because I was carrying such guilt, right? I let them speak disrespectfully to me for a long, long time. And so when I decided, hey, you know what? You don't talk to me that way. They were like, why? I've always talked to you that way. Well, you don't anymore. Because I was always a good mom and I didn't deserve that. Yes, I allowed you to get away with it, but no. It's not respectful, and I'm not gonna fight with you, but I'm not gonna put up with it. So in this, we've got a Queen of Cups that's upside down. Could be a man, could be a female, could be yourself, right? We don't have to see them as the enemy. We don't have to see ourselves as the enemy. We want to turn this back around so that we can be in our loving, tender-hearted, empathetic, nurturing energy, right? So the way we do this is make sure that we give this to ourselves. When it's upside down, we're either not giving enough of ourselves or they're taking too much from us. So care for yourself. It also will tell you that in this situation, this relationship is not going to a higher level. It's upside down. So it might be like the song, I've been thinking about this and I want you to be happier, so I'm going to go. It may be that situation. Okay, for the next, we'll do Princey Pants. Prince Charming. Correct for neutrality. For those who chose Prince Charming, and then the Rosebush. I love my little Rosebush. Correct for neutrality. So I'm picking the little Rosebush. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. As I'm sitting here, I'm peeling off look at my fingernails. I've got one painted. Geez, I've got one left. Two. I think I get to go get my nails done today. Oh my gosh. That's what happens when you climb mountains. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I want to show you another stone that I got. I'm trying to think of where I was. Oh, it was right outside of the little studio that I was going to get. A little leopard cat adopted me. It makes me sad. The cat was really skinny, little girl, and I was feeding her, and now I'm not there. I hope somebody else takes care of her. But as I was walking back from putting out food for her the last day I was there, I found this little stone. Show it to you guys. Isn't it neat? I have, oh, I can't show you because I've packed them all up and they're in her basement. This is what people would normally call a worry stone because it's round and it's smooth, and what you do is you would sit there and you would rub it, right? I call it an intention stone. And I like the fact that it's light, right? So what is my intention? My intention, right? My intention is to get a bigger studio. I really would like to have the other side with Gordon, whatever. My intention actually was when I got this was I hope somebody takes care of that little kitty and make sure that it's safe from the coyotes, right? I just love this. I love crystals. I love, I found this one on the trail walking down, and I used it in my reading the other day. It came up, and it's amazing because it's a form of mica, and it was definitely what came up and necessary in the reading. Mica, and it literally is muscovite mica. And then my landlord said, hey, I've got this rock. I meditated with it last night, so it's next to my bed. I've got this rock, and it's got crystals in it. Do you want it? And I said, okay, right in the middle of the reading. So he comes up, and what he brought me was granite, right? And I'm looking at it, and I said, that's interesting. I had picked this up in the reading, and it was granite. So granite was something that had come up that needed to be shared with me and with my client. And as I looked at it, I said to her, there's these beautiful crystals in it. It's very delicate. And as I touched it, little pieces were breaking off because mica is very, very fragile. But then there's the black in it, which is very, very strong, which is for grounding, right? So it talked to me about people, about empathetic, super sensitive people. They may appear to other people as super sensitive, like, oh, wow, you got to be around, you need time to process and can't be around this energy or that energy. And they're super sensitive to drugs, and they're super sensitive to alcohol, and they're super sensitive, blah, 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 blah. People might think you're being difficult. They may not understand that you're not sleeping at night because you hear every single sound or every little scent you smell. I smell everything. I smell everything. I hear everything. Super sensitive, right? Like the Princess and the Pea. And yet, there's extremely strong rock. It's fragile and strong at the same time. And that's what we are. And when I looked it up later after I finished the reading, I found out that yes, what I understood when I pulled this up as muscovite mica, that is what granite is made of. It's made up with muscovite mica. And muscovite mica is for anyone that's having difficulty with anxiety, in relationships, if there's problems at work, with coworkers, if there's jealousy, anger, envy, any of that kind of stuff, it brings a calming atmosphere. So this was what I found on the trail, Lizard Head Trail on the way down. And if you see this in the light, it shines this silvery blue. And last night in my dream, I saw a woman dressed, and I looked at her and I said, oh, it's the silver siren. But it was a silvery, shiny situation. And I thought to myself, I saw the silver siren because I saw the color, and that's what I heard in my head. But instead of seeing that, couldn't I see that as somebody who's coming across rather difficult, but they're actually very gentle or very delicate. They're fragile, and they're coming across, putting out a heavy, like a tough exterior. It's self-protection. Underneath there, they're very delicate. They're very fragile, and there is love under there. If they are that delicate, you can reach them. That person that I saw wearing the silver dress, I looked at them in my dream and I said, you look beautiful in that dress. You can look at that and see a silver siren, or you can look at that and understand that there's love in there somewhere. I wonder how I can affect that in a positive way. That just had to come up. Song right now, right? Somebody made a mistake. They cheated on the other person. They said they were sorry, and the person says, I can't get over the betrayal. And if we both just split at this time, we can make something out of this mess. So it didn't work, right? It didn't work. And my friends say, I know you love her, mate, but it's time to let her go, right? So it's sadness, difficulty, and yet it's not in the highest good to stay in that relationship. I can forgive you, but I can't, the trust is gone, right? It's gonna hurt for a little while. Allow yourself to feel that, but do what's best for you. All of these things are coming out all at once. The purple pansies. Right? I did Liger. We did gifts of money. Did I I get another message upside down? I got the Queen of Cups. That was the Liger, Purple Pansies, and the Prince. We did. Okay, so we did those. So now we're doing the Rosebush. So I guess this is the last one. And this is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Look at the picture. You see the big old grandma tree. This is like willow, right? The grandma. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing a Leo. I don't see it when I look at it that way. I see it when I look at it this way. So what I'm literally seeing a lion. If you just go like this, I am seeing a lion. That's interesting. Grandma. So when I look at this gnarled tree, I think it's been there a long time. It's got a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of branches, family tree, right? So you think of the grandma, she's got all the cousins and all the nephews and the nieces and the different sons and daughters and wives. Those are all the family, this is the family tree, branches. Also could be soul family. It's saying that your seeds are well planted and that a temporary pause in whatever's going on and there's no need for worry. You see this one coming home. Song right now. My lover, she's waiting for me. Across the bar, my seat's been taken by some sunglasses asking about her scar. I know I gave it to you months ago, and between the holes in my apologies, I've been trying to take it back. Wait a second, I need to get my story straight. So there's a pause. There's been a distance, there's been a problem. Wait, give me a second, let me get my story straight. So right now, if this is going along with it, the seeds between you and this one, the roots run deep. The love between you is deep. It's there, it's rooted. There's been a problem, so there's been a pause, but there's no need for worry because it's temporary. And the number is 7, and if you stay on your spiritually illuminated path, it will exceed your expectations. So what I'm looking at are little drops of dew. See these little globes? They're like little Christmas balls, like clear little balls, and inside each one of them, I think it's, hold on, this is why I have a magnifying glass to look at these little tiny things. They're all angels inside. And you know what I'm noticing right now? Wow, I've never noticed this before. See the butterfly walking up? Remember the butterfly? The guillotine, the butterfly coming home? See her walking up there? She can be a man, she can be a female. Blonde, light hair is goodness. Sometimes it can be an airhead or dingbat, right? Not seeing it very clearly. So it's like someone's returning home. Somebody's gone off and gone on their adventures, but they're coming back home after this. All of these little globes are a mirrored reflection of the same person. Every single one of them has got a reflection of this one in them. So what it's showing me is that everybody in the family, everybody that you have an issue with, everyone that you love, all the different, you see a reflection of yourself in this family. There's a piece of you in all of this. There's a song like that. There's a piece of you in everywhere I look. There's a piece of you in everything I do. I think it's that, lyrics. Brian Adams, everything I do it for you. Look into my eyes, you will see what you mean to me. Search your heart, search your soul, and when you find me there, you'll search no more. Don't tell me it's not worth trying for. You can't tell me it's not worth dying for. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you. Look into your heart, you will find there's nothing there to hide. Take me as I am, take my life. I would give it all, I would sacrifice. Don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. I can't help it. There's nothing I want more, you know it's true. Everything I do it for you. There's no love like your love, and there's no other could give more love. There's nowhere unless you're there. All the time, all the way. Look into your heart, baby. Oh, you can't tell me it's not worth trying for. I can't help it, there's nothing I want more. Yes, I would fight for you, I'd die for you. Walk the wire for you, I would die for you. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you. Everything I do, darling, you will see it's true. You will see it's true. Search your heart and your soul. You can't tell it's not worth dying for. I'll be there. I'd walk the fire for you. I'd die for you. I'm going all the way. All the time, I'm going all the way. This song, give me a second. I'm trying to get my story straight. My friends are in the bar getting higher than the Empire State. My lover, she's sitting over there. I hurt her. She's trying to get over it. She's trying to deal with it, and I know that, and I'm trying to take it back. Just let me figure out the words. That came with this song, with this card, with that song, everything I do, there's a reflection of you. Everywhere I go, I'm coming home, right? So if you've had a distance between you and another, it's temporary. Someone's coming home. Someone's coming home. Are you coming back? Have you had a fight with your grandma? Have you had a fight with your mom, your brother, your lover? Are you fighting with your family members? Because your roots, they run deep. Don't forget that. And as I said to the funny, I almost called him a lawyer. As I said to my client this morning, you have to be careful about that lawyer. I said that lawyer knew her Achilles heel, the fear. He knew what she was afraid of because she's told him what she's afraid of. And so he put that poison dart in her ear. That was her Achilles heel. He knew how to chip that there to sway her and to continue this fight, to continue the battle, to keep you apart. Sometimes people don't want other people to come together because they're jealous and they feel like they're going to lose someone. So they want to keep that person close. I don't want to lose my best friend. I know what happens. People get in relationships and then all of a sudden you won't have any time for me anymore. So I do whatever I can to keep you close to me, right? Instead of looking at it in another way, why don't you make friends with that person so you can do stuff with them and have fun? But sometimes people are so afraid of losing that they get very jealous and they don't want anybody else in there. Well, that lawyer, he didn't want this case to be settled because he wasn't going to get any money. Could be that too, right? If he goes with her, he's not going to stay with me, and we're working here and we're making good money, but if he goes there, I'm shit out of luck, right? So, seeds well planted. Never underestimate the power of planting a seed. In this situation, seed of love was planted and it was deep. No matter where this one went, everywhere I go, there's a reflection of you. I come up to this family tree and I see a reflection of me in all of this. We're just a reflection of one another. Even in the negative things that we see in another, we see it because we see a negative aspect of ourselves that we don't like. So otherwise we wouldn't recognize it, right? So whatever this situation is, if this is in regards to a relationship, that's a family relationship, a loving, whatever it is, you're told not to worry. You've got a little bit of pause. It might be that someone needs to process and figure out what to say, like that guy. Give me a second. I need to get my story straight. I don't know what to say, right? This song is the reason that these ones were apart from one another. Wow, I found you on your knees, got you back up on your feet, only for you to take advantage of me. You know, I said, I'm going to be here for you. If you fall, I'll be here. And if anyone laughs, well, fuck them all. I'm here for you. And I did all of this for you. I walked away. I walked away to take care of you. And here you've been taking advantage of me. And I'm finding out behind my back, I had to find out from someone else. You didn't even tell me yourself. How does it feel sitting up there knowing I put you there? How could you do that to me, right? This situation is going on. That's what we talked about when we were in Sedona. This one was loving. This one did give. But there are instances where people don't have that same energy back. So there are situations where we need to protect ourselves. You need to not give too much. Like the Queen of Cups that was upside down. The Queen of Cups might be upside down because they're emotionally and energetically drained from giving to this codependent situation, right? And then they're vibrating at a toxic energy, which that isn't their nature. It's just because of what they're around, so that they need to protect themselves. But even if that is the situation, the seeds run deep. This is a family. Song right now, I want it that way. This is another message. It's important. I have listened to this in many different ways. This is the song that's clearly written between lovers, right? Backstreet Boys. I freaking love the Backstreet Boys. I gotta tell you. I always take the back street. You ever hear me say that? I always take the back road. I don't go down the main road that everybody goes. I go down the back road. That's why I like the Backstreet Boys. They do it different. So you are my fire, the one desire. Believe me when I say I want it that way. But we are two worlds apart. I can't reach to your heart when you say that I want it that way, right? One wants it this way, one wants it that way. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. I ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. I never want to hear you say I want it that way. Am I your fire, your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. I'm going to stop here because I'm going to tell you. This is a situation about that same guy, right? Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. I know it's too late. right? Give me a second. I need to get my story straight. It's been taking too long. I've waited too long. I know it's too late. That's negative thinking. Spirit's saying, don't worry. The seeds are deep. They've grown. They've taken root. They're well planted. Right now there is a pause, and you may have, like the one who took advantage of the one that was helping them, right? Remember I said to Spirit, actually I said when I was on the mountain, I appeal to that one. I appeal, you say that you love this one, but what you've done has not been loving. You've been trying to control them because you've been afraid of losing them. You have not acted in a loving way, even though you say that you love them. So I'm imploring you, if you really do love the person that you say that you love, tell them the truth. And this one says, wow, I found out, I don't want to have to find out from someone else. I want to hear it from you. This situation is the one that's coming back saying, I know it's too late, but I don't ever want you to say to me, I want it that way, differently, right? You say you want it this way. You say it's only a temporary pause. You say that I'm welcome back, but I don't want to hear you say when you finally get me that you don't want it this way. But there's another way of looking at this. My son hasn't spoken to me in 6 years because of my spiritual beliefs and because of his religion. My son is a singer, right? He's a beautiful boy, man. And it's not on there. I can't show you anymore because he blocked it. He probably found out that I shared it. He used to do parodies with his friend in New York. They would do these videos, and they would lip sync to the songs. And Devin would do all the roles, all the Backstreet Boys. He would change his clothes, and he would do all the roles, and he would splice it. He was amazing. It was funny. He's a computer guy. And so he sang this song. And as he sang the song, I didn't hear lovers talking to each other. I heard my son, and I heard me. My son's an Aries, and so am I. Now listen to this. If this is your dad that you're fighting with, or your mom that you're fighting with, believe me when I say I want it that way, but we are two worlds apart. I can't reach to your heart. When you say that I want it that way, tell me why I ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why I ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never want to hear you say I want it that way. Am I your fire? Your one desire? Because my son's an Aries, a fire sign, right? Am I your fire? Your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why. I ain't nothing but a heartache. And now I'm talking about me to him. Tell me why I ain't nothing but a mistake. I never want to hear you say I want it that way. Now I can see that we're falling apart from the way it used to be. No matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me, you are my fire. My one desire. You are. I don't want to hear you say, it ain't nothing but a heartache, ain't nothing but a mistake. I don't want to hear you say, I never want to hear you say it. I want it that way. Tell me why, ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why, it ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why, I never want to hear you say it that way. I never want to hear you say it that way because I want it that way. So this situation, my son hasn't spoken to me in 6 years. When this comes out, in the time, in spirit, there is no time. There is for us. Those seeds are deep. I know my son loves me. He's not speaking to me, but there is love. We never had a fight. I love him. He is an elder in the Jehovah's Witness congregation now, so he is like one of the big people, right? So he's got to stand in his position. But even this message I'm just giving out, that even when there is distance, the love remains, and you can send that love energetically back and forth. And when I sang that song, I loved to watch that video. I wish there had been a way that I could have saved it, because I got to see his face, and he was singing it, and he was singing it with such emotion. And what I heard also was his dad that raised him. They don't speak anymore. He had a hard time with him growing up. And he feels bad about it, the father. He loves him, and he hates the distance. And he's saying, I can't reach your heart. We're two worlds apart. You're a Jehovah's Witness, I'm not. Same thing with me. Same thing with the man who said, I got to get my story straight. My friends are all getting high. We're two worlds apart. It could be that someone's on the other side of the planet, right? Somebody could be in Europe. Somebody had moved to another state all the way across, and there's literally distance between you. It's difficult to bridge a gap when there's distance, but not when the roots run deep. Not when you understand that the love is still there. So don't say we're two worlds apart and I can't reach your heart. You can always reach their heart. Song right now, I need somebody now. I'm on the ground, on my knees. I'm falling apart. I need somebody now. Sometimes I feel like giving up, but it isn't in my blood. But they're struggling, right? So whoever you think of when you hear those words, whoever comes to mind right now, wrap them in wings of love. Ask for unconditional healing love to descend and pour down upon them. Because Spirit is telling you that this pause between you is temporary. Your roots run deep. Your connection is strong. Whether this is the one that you walked away and left the one, your connection is strong. Whether it's the one that you went to help and they took advantage of you, you have a strong connection. Love fixes everything. Ghosts are calling me home. This one's coming home. The ghost of you is always with me, right? You're always there. You're always in my shadow. It's never been able to go away. It's always there. So if we want to take this away from relationships, family, lovers, friendships that are having trouble, say it's a project. Say it's a creative project that you're having difficulty in. Spirit says that patience is essential at this time because you've got a good idea. The seeds are planted. Something is there. It may feel like it's not moving, but Spirit says it's a temporary pause. This is a time, because we're in Mercury retrograde, we're meant to use this time to review. We're meant to use this to see, how could I tweak this? What would work better? How could I look at this situation in a better way? Well, one thing is, I can't reach your heart. We're 2 worlds apart. You can use this in a business deal, in the courtroom, in this custody thing, right? 2 partners fighting, or you're selling a property and you're arguing. You don't tell yourself, I can't reach their heart, that we're 2 worlds apart. You say those things, you're affirming that, you're keeping that distance. You figure out, how can I get to a common ground? Spirit says the roots run deep. Spirit says this is a temporary pause, unnecessary worry. So right now, if I follow Spirit's guidance, number 7 says, I'll be on the right path and it will exceed my expectations. This is about getting grounded. This is about getting rooted. This is about maybe you're too emotional and you need to get yourself grounded. Maybe you need to get outside, stop thinking about it. This is out in nature. Clear the energy a little bit and see what comes to you. Also at this time, maybe it's time to use this in a purposeful way. All right, I've got the seeds planted. The project's underway. It's going to take a while. This is telling you it's going to take a little while. So take a break. Give yourself a well-needed rest. Give yourself a bit of a vacation. Recharge your batteries, right? You've been working hard because they're telling you that you're going to manifest. There's going to be abundance coming from this. You put all those seeds in the ground, this would be a great time to take yourself a vacation. You've done the work, right? I've done the work. It's kind of like Spirit says, okay, what do we have to do? Well, this is what I need. I need finances. I need money to come in. I need to find myself a suite in Sedona. This needs to happen for me, right? This house is going to be sold. I'm not under the gun as I was, but I want to get there. My stuff's all there. Okay, that's fine. We understand what you want. Now you've said that. Stop thinking about it. Stop working on it. Calm down, relax, give yourself a little bit of a break. Listen to the signs that come in. Listen to the signs. They're songs. See the signs, the butterfly. What does that butterfly mean? Black butterfly, but it's got yellow around the edge. So it's a dark situation, but there's yellow there. There's growth, there's possibility, there's happiness. Focus on that. These are the things you're meant to do when the signs come forward. When you're given the next step, then you take the next step. But while you're waiting, handle yourself. What can I do to make myself feel good? What can I do to lighten up my energy? Am I tired? Maybe I should have a nap. Maybe I should take a few days and go on a vacation, right? I've done the work. I don't have to worry because Spirit's telling you it will yield. This is going to yield. You may feel that you've got a long way to go, but Spirit says it's going to come. Remember we got yesterday, within 9 months, something amazing is going to burst up as far as what you've been planting. So check out your progress. Sometimes maybe you just need to look at where you were and where you are to realize that you're actually farther along than you thought you were. I'm not afraid of getting older. This is a good way to end this reading. I love him. I'm not afraid of getting older. I heard this wrong the first time I heard it. Right? There's always 2 ways of looking. Well, many different ways of looking at things. But you can look at it on the positive or you look at it on the negative. So I was thinking about my relationship, my non-relationship, my non-physical relationship. My twin isn't here, right? He's the one that's off with his friends. So I heard it from a sad perspective. I'm not afraid of getting older. I'm one less day from dying young. I see the light go past my shoulder. I'm one less day from dying young. I see my life like a train on a one-way track. I've made mistakes and I couldn't take them back. And I've been running around in circles till I'm dizzy. I can't lie, but every night I go to sleep. It's a day that I've survived. I'm not afraid of getting older. I'm one less day from dying young. I see that light go past my shoulder. I'm one less day from dying young. I've seen my friends fall away before their time, and I've been afraid that I might follow in their light. So I drink and love and whisper all the things I know are right. Someday I'll leave this world, but maybe not tonight. And I thought, nice. So you're so worried about growing older, and I know this. You're worried about growing older. You're afraid that I need to do all of this now before I'm too old. I need to sleep with all the women I can. I need to get all the attention I can. I need to make all the money I can. I need to do all the things that I can right now. I'm not going to freaking settle down. I know I love you. I know that you're supposed to be with me, but I've got one less day, from dying. And I don't want to die. I'm getting older and I want to be able to do everything that I can do. So I'm pushing everything off. And I thought, wow, that's really nice, right? Why don't you enjoy that with me then if you love me? Why do you have to do this all on your own, right? Why is it always greener somewhere else? Now, you can look at this in a completely positive light. Isn't this Rob Thomas? Yeah, I love Rob Thomas. Okay, look at it in a positive way, right? Every single day that we get to live is one day we're not in the ground. So why shouldn't you live your life to the fullest? I'm not afraid of getting older because every day that ticks by, I'm alive. Not many people get the chance to live. Some people die at 61 of a heart attack, 55. My mom died at 71 of cancer. My grandmother lived till she was 98. Her mother lived till she was 102. I'm going to live much longer. I'm not worried. I'm not going to focus on getting older. I'm going to focus on, wow, I've been given the opportunity to grow older. Not many are afforded this luxury, right? And that's what Rob Thomas put out there. He's like, I'm not afraid of getting older. It's one less day from dying young. But you don't have to look at it and say, I've been afraid that I might follow in their light, so I drink and love and whisper all the things I know are right. Someday I'll leave this world, but maybe not tonight. Now that line, that's a player. I say all the things that are right? I drink and love and whisper all the things that I know are right. Or why not be loving that he's married? He's whispering all that to the one he loves. I whisper and I drink with my friends. Cheers, right? It's like, drink to Old Lang Syne. I love and I whisper all the things that I know are right. I know someday I will leave this world, but maybe not tonight. So this is another message that we aren't promised tomorrow. So if there is someone that you love, maybe it's time to come home, right? If there's a family member that you've been fighting with, maybe this is the time to focus on the love. How can I affect change? That's confirmation. Focus on the love. What would love say? What would love do? Yes, keep yourself protected, but always lead with your heart. Always lead with your heart. I love this. It's a great way to wrap it up. All right, that's it. That's a long reading, but I'm stoked with it. I'm happy with it, and I'm going to put it out, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoyed delivering it. Deep cleansing breath. Sending love out. Namaste. Do you know what namaste means? Do you know what it means? I want to make sure I get it right. I almost said it and I thought, may the peace within me be with you also. I think that's what it means. But a lot of times people say namaste and they don't even know what it means. Okay. It's a respectful greeting. Yes. I'm pretty sure it means may the peace within me be with you also. Let's see. You guys are all telling me. I'm listening to the radio right now. Namaste is not what you might imagine. We hear it as we exit yoga class. We might even hear it after an encounter with a friend. The divine in me bows to the divine in you. So may the peace within me be also with you. I love that. I always say that. May the peace within me be also with you. But the divine in me bows to the divine in you because we all have it. Isn't that beautiful? Namaste.